Your insiders today are Pierre Lebrun and Darren Dreger. Usually, guys, it takes a month or two before we get into the trade rumors of good players on struggling teams coveted by other teams, but we're well underway already with Nazem Kadri and the Calgary Flames. Lots of talk. Is there anything to it, Dregs?
No, not really. I mean, there is a lot of talk. There's a lot of speculation driven by the media. And the reality is it comes from a place where the Calgary Flames are playing well below expectation. And there are other Canadian markets, namely the Montreal Canadiens, the Vancouver Canucks, maybe the Toronto Maple Leafs, that could absolutely envision a number 2 experienced center like Nazem Kadri in their lineup. But the reality is that Nazem Kadri loves Calgary. And unless the Flames decide that their roster needs reconstruction, and that could happen through the remainder of the regular season leading up to the trade deadline, then at least for the moment, it is premature. So there's tons of interest, don't get me wrong, but the timing isn't right yet.
Yeah, Dregs, there's also speculation over the weekend of another center, and that being Pavel Zacha of the Boston Bruins. And there's no question, as sources confirm, that the Vancouver Canucks did indeed reach out to the Boston Bruins in the summer to gauge interest and to see if he was available. But what I'm being told in terms of the Boston Bruins is that they view Pavel Zacha as a long-term fit. He only has another year on his deal after this year, but don't be surprised if they try to extend him this summer. They look at him at 28 years old as being age appropriate for this transition of their roster, the retool, whatever you want to call it. But they feel he fits in very well, and they want to keep him around.
The World Cup of Hockey is set to return in 2028. That's the what. And the next thing is the where. Bids were supposed to come in this week. Any distinct possibilities, Drake?
Yeah, I mean, why not the World Cup 2028 in Calgary and in Edmonton? I mean, an all Alberta North American host. It makes a lot of sense from a business perspective, and no doubt that the fine people of Calgary want to show off their brand new building. I know that Calgary and Edmonton submitted their bids at the start of this week. Now, it's a loose deadline, so there's other interest. I'm told 10 or more cities, NHL cities, will also submit their bids to the NHL. We're talking about Montreal. We're talking about Vancouver in terms of the Canadian interest. Vegas puts on a show, so Vegas could be a likely target. Tampa Bay, Dallas, among the others. But Calgary and Edmonton should earn some attention.
Here's one guarantee of one player you will definitely see in that tournament if he's healthy, and that would be, of course, Cale Makar. The trend, Pierre, in big-name guys who have a chance to extend seems to be that they're extending with their teams fairly early. He has a chance to extend next summer. Have those talks already started?
Well, they haven't started in the sense that they can't negotiate till next summer, Jimmy. But the key thing here is that the potential of that extension, and there's no question, as you say, that Colorado next summer is going to want to put their best foot forward and extend Cale Makar, best defenseman in the world. But that possibility is at an impact in a negotiation that is underway, and that's with Martin Necas, pending UFA, who's off to a great start with the Colorado Avalanche. And the point being that the Avs, my understanding is, in talks with Martin Necas' agent, has said, listen, there's an ecosystem here, and we're going to have to obviously sign Cale Makar to a healthy raise here as early as next summer. Nathan MacKinnon makes $12.6 million. Where does that leave Martin Necas? Now, the Avs are confident they can get Necas extended at some point. But that part of the conversation, I think, has created a bit of a gap in talks. I think they can overcome it, but it's something certainly that is real in those conversations. And keep in mind, there's a lot of pressure on Colorado to sign Martin Necas. He's the guy they got for the guy they couldn't sign, Mikko Rantanen.
The Rangers can talk to Artemi Panarin already because he's going to be UFA in 8 months. And we talk so much about all these pending UFAs and guys who are a couple of years away from it, but there seems to be so little talk about Panarin with the Rangers. Why?
Yeah, they kept that one under wraps. That's certainly the way the Rangers want it. But my understanding is this, that with a new head coach behind the bench and Mike Sullivan, that the Rangers are not in the rush to get into a more serious place in those discussions with Artemi Panarin's camp. And so there's lots of time between now and July 1st, but I think the Rangers want to see what kind of season this is as a team after last year's disappointment before they decide what to do with the pending UFA that they feel has done a lot for them. They have a lot of respect for him. But if and when they do start those talks in a more meaningful way, Jimmy, I will say this. I think term could be an issue here. He turns 34 actually this week. And I don't think he's going to settle for a short-term deal if the Rangers come at him with that. So keep an eye on that one.
7th season in New York right now, closing in on 900 points in what's been a terrific 11-year NHL career.